A man just woke up. Suddenly he was slashed in the head. Then he bends down to avoid it. Strangely, the man is not panicked at all. A set of smooth movements directly beat the killer. He turns around and pours a cup of coffee. The assassin pauses for a second, then slashes at the man again. The man gets impatient and knocks him down again, but the danger has just begun. A helicopter is coming from outside the house. It's firing machine guns. The killer is shot to pieces in no time. Roy swings his knife between rounds and takes out the shooter. He dodged all the shots as if he had foreseen it. While waiting for the plane to crash, Roy dodges the falling wing again. He then anxiously jumps down from the floor. After the explosion, the man is safe again. He conjured so many crises, all because he has been in these crises, has died too many times, just in the step of jumping from the building. 22 times he's missed the mark. He's been run over by a passing rubbish truck. The strange thing is, he always reboot on the same morning after die, repeatedly going through a bunch of assassinations. He dodged this one, but being killed by another one, gets shot by a woman, they're stabbed by men, or by a bomb. All kinds of killers. Every day the man reboots, he's attacked. That's why he's so predictable. On this day, Roy called his ex-wife's company. He learned that his ex-wife had just died that morning. Roy realized something was wrong, but he didn't realize what was behind it. The killer pulled out a shell and aimed it at Roy. He didn't react, and the killer took him down. Every time Roy is reborn, he has memories of his past. Right now, he wants to find and know the truth. A few days ago, Roy went to his ex-wife's company to see her. While they were chatting, he didn't realize someone was watching his ex-wife's every move. She's working on a world-changing project as a researcher. The boss was worried that the woman might leak the information. Immediately ordered security to get Roy out of there. The ex-wife took a sample of Roy's hair. She didn't realize it would change Roy's life forever. Before security arrived, the ex-wife emphasized the gift she had sent to Roy. At that moment, Roy didn't even know it was a hint, and this meeting was destined to be their last. Later that night, Roy went to the pub for a drink, where he met a blonde woman. Roy didn't know this woman was a time bomb. Roy received one last phone call from his ex-wife. The ex-wife wanted to tell Roy the truth about her research. Her boss cut her off. Roy, who was already drunk, didn't take it seriously. Instead, he took the blonde woman home. The result was the beginning of Roy's infinite resurrection. The 176th resurrection. Suddenly thought of his ex-wife's birthday gift. Roy found out that it was a book about the myth of resurrection. Was killed before he could read it. He came back to life again. Wanted to find a quiet place to read the book. After dodging layers of assassination attempts, Roy came to an underground game room. He read about the myth of infinite resurrection in the book. He was getting closer to the truth before he could think about it. Roy ran into his son, whom he hadn't seen in a while. After talking to his son for a while, Roy was about to take his son to lunch, but then he saw a screen that read 12:50. This surprised Roy. He had never lived past 12:47 before. This time he exceeded the record. Recalling the rebirth, he realized that the signal underground was not good. He now realizes he's being tracked. Before he could react, the killer arrived. Roy rushed back with his son in his arms, but he was too late. The bullets hit him in the back. Roy saw the fear, pain, and love in his son's eyes. He was completely enraged. He resurrected and subdued the assassin immediately. The killer didn't say where the tracker was. He went to the pub, looking for the tracker. The security guards said the most discreet place to put it is in the teeth. He finally remembers the dentist he met earlier. Doesn't have time to complain. Roy dragged the security officers to the bathroom. One by one, he pulled out the teeth to identify them. That's the kind of thing that scares a safety officers. After trying, Roy found the tracker. Before he could speak, he was killed again. This time, Roy finally took the initiative. The first step in his rebirth is to kill the killer. When he learned it was an order from his ex-wife's company, Roy couldn't stand it any longer and pulled out the tracker. He used the tracker to confuse the killers and then attacked them from behind. He killed them and got his revenge. And finally, a group annihilation. Roy caught his employer and learned that it's his ex-wife's boss's conspiracy. He plans to go straight to the headquarters to take revenge. The first time, he was going to drive his car into the fence, but the wall was too hard and he was killed. The second time, he managed to break through the fence. He used his car to confuse the security guards and killed them. He's not happy for long, but he's killed by a big guy. He had an idea, posing as a killer to infiltrate the company. The first time he did it, he got through, but when he entered the lift and swiped the card, there was an accident. Roy was killed after being exposed. Reborn again, he killed the lift security. Unexpectedly, he was discovered right after he exited the lift. To save time, he sent himself away. This time, Roy only saw the lift camera, so it was an oversight here. For the 150th time, Roy disguised himself as a staff member, opened the door and killed the doorman without hesitation, finally reached the boss's room. But he met the toughest assassin. The assassin in front of him is a great swordsman. Roy thought he could kill her with a pistol, but the bullets can't hit her at all. This time, Roy met the boss. He learned that the reason for his unlimited rebirth is that his ex-wife incorporated his genes into the experiment. The boss didn't know that the experiment had been successful. Reborn again, Roy did not go straight into the company. Instead, he went to the world champion to learn Chinese swordsmanship. After many rebirths of learning, Roy's swordsmanship reached mastery. This time, he entered the headquarters with confidence, opened the door, put down his gun and picked his sword. He wanted to regain his lost dignity. Luckily, he didn't fail the Chinese swordsmanship. Roy easily dealt with them all. In the end, he succeeded in killing him. Then, the villainous boss arrived. He learned that every time he came back to life, the villain not only arranged assassins to kill Roy, he also arranged someone to assassinate his son. After learning the news, Roy rushed to find his son, but he was still too late. Looking at the tragic situation in front of him, Roy broke down. He had been reborn many times, ignored what happened to his son. While he was blaming himself, the machine reached its limit and destroyed the world. Roy could feel the world falling apart. After being reborn again, Roy began to fall. Every time he woke up blaming himself, then he died without a fight. After repeating this many times, he stopped falling. He spent his one day with his son, finding him, playing with him, talking to him, to make up for the lack of a father's love, until the day ends and the world is destroyed. The 249th resurrection. Roy found out by accident from his son. Mom called me this morning. Roy realized something was wrong and checked the call logs. When he woke up this morning, his ex-wife had been killed, but by then, the end of the world had come. Reborn again, Roy raced to the office, but the villain has already killed his ex-wife. Through the video, Roy learned that the villain threatened his ex-wife and tried to take control of Rebirth, but the ex-wife had already fused Roy's genes into the machine. He saw the time on the video. He has only 14 minutes to save his ex-wife. Roy kills the villain and then kills himself. After he's reborn, he takes control of the pilot and heads to the company, followed by a Gatling sweep. He grabs his gear and rushes to the lab. Just as his ex-wife was killed, Roy arrives just in time to take out the villain. They embraced. The ex-wife waited for Roy. She shows him the machine. Roy tells him all about his son. Through the father-son bonding during their rebirth, Roy finally understands how hard it was for his ex-wife to raise their child. However, time waits for no one. The machine is running out of control. Every afternoon, the machine collapses, causing the world to end. The only way to stop the machine is for Roy to integrate into the spindle, but the outcome of that integration is anyone's guess. Roy went into the machine to protect his family. He looks at his wife with love. Maybe he'll be able to stop the machine, and the family will live happily ever after. Maybe Roy will never come back, and the world meets an unknown end.